Hello, welcome back to Going Walkabout. In this episode, I show you the next version that will be available in the App Store soon. In the last few weeks, I've been working on some iOS 14 features. First, I was working on the new photo picker that doesn't require permissions to access your photo library that's available on iOS 14. And second, I worked on a nice widget for iOS 13 as well. Now, my app, of course, is also available on other iOSs, but I still wanted to make sure that iOS 14 users got those new features. And I now have wrapped everything into one final package, but I still had to do some work. I'll show you here. I was running the app on the simulator, I was doing some additional testing, and I noticed, for instance, that this wasn't translated yet. And I went through the whole app again to check all my localizations. So it was a bit of work, but now I think I've covered everything of that. Another thing I was dealing with, and for those that have been watching my episode on the Firebase authentication emulator, well, I've noticed that. If you don't have any trips, I show you don't have any trips, go and create your first trip. And that was showing a big red background or something. And that's what I had to fix here. So for iOS 14, the content view, the background color, I had to set that to clear. I use a third-party component that I probably will phase out sometime in the future that is not very well maintained. So that's why you get this kind of issues. And every time when there's a new iOS version, you need to check your application for this kind of things. Another thing I had to do that was here when I create a trip. For instance, I had my location picker that I worked on a while back already. It doesn't really matter, but my alignment here was completely off. And this is the little things that you notice when there's Apple changing the stuff, optimizing. So my alignment was not good. I fixed it now, and that's also nicely done and done correctly. But there were always also a few important things that I missed when I created my widget. Now, imagine the situation, you're in the app and you decide to sign out. And if you remember the usage of my widget, and I will demo it also in a while again, that will show you the current active trip. But if you log out, you don't want that to do that anymore. So I had to make something that here in my settings view controller, that on iOS 14, I delete the trip info. What that means is that I just remove the information about the current active trip, so that if you log out, the widget will change to its default behavior where you are invited to create a trip. And that is fine for someone who is not logged in, because you will go through the registration or sign in procedure, and it works. But it doesn't show any information about the trip anymore. So that's something I had to do, what was important to do as well. For the rest, things were working quite nice. It's actually nicer if I just show it here on my phone. So let's go and do that. You can see that I have the app here with two widgets, and we can open the app, and we have, well, what you see here. If I go to the widget, we have the biking summer trip active here. And we can now go back to the app. Let's go to another one where we were this summer. It's a little bit of a different image. We also see that it's different. Now if we go back to the background, and yes, it shows the new photo here on the desktop. And it also shows here in the medium format nicely the two flags of the two countries visited. So yeah, the widget is working quite wise, because if I click here, I can also immediately start writing a story. Now, in some future episodes, and you might have seen, I'm working on a new photo editor as well, or post editor. But eventually, or for now, it's using this, and eventually it will be the new one. But that will be in another new upcoming version of the application. So, I'm ready to launch this into the App Store, but there's still one thing pending. Of course, before I can really push it to the Apple Store, I need to go on a field trip, what is a little bit difficult at the moment with all the travel restrictions, to go and test the app. But yeah, that needs to happen, because without proper testing, I cannot send it to Apple. It's a short update. It's all I have about it today. Next episode will be longer again, where we continue working on the new post editor, what is a fairly large project. Now, I hope you like it. If you like it, please like and subscribe.
If you don't like it, subscribe anyway, because the next one might be better for you. Well, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode.